Hey there, welcome to Paper Muse. It's been a while since I've done a video, so I thought that I would take a minute to just kind of go through my journals. Now, even though I have been making them for a long time, I don't have that many. I mean, it looks like I have a lot, but I don't. They're all kind of half made or half like. And then I also get really into like making the ephemera and then not so much the journals or something like that. So I'm just going to quickly go through what I have and show you that sometimes I've used like old art journal pages as like the basic of starting one. So like this definitely doesn't have like the coloring of a vintage art junk journal. It's more like papery painted. So I guess you could call it an art journal. I don't know. But I just call them all junk because it's basically like leftover scraps of paper sometimes, or, paintings I've made that I'm not like. But this is a great like starting spot, I think. And then here's something that I got and I made with like old paper that I wasn't going to use anymore. And then there's sometimes I put something like quotes in them. They're very rustic. This is like affirmations, I think. And I kind of like, I make it, I play with it a little bit, and I don't finish it. But you know what? I keep it, and maybe one day I'll come back to it and I will do more. This is basically just one I took, an old composition notebook, and I ripped out the pages and I used the bind, and I made a new one with all my painted little papers, and I think that would be great. I know that the lines are this way, but once I decorate it, I can change it up to make it look not like I'd be going against lines. Here's one I made with old Happy Planner pages that I had used and or I didn't use, and they're outdated. And you can see this punch hole part up here is what they were to be, and then yeah, I just made them into like painty junk journals. Just went right over them. So I actually kind of like when it has some writing in the back, but you can't really read it. It was like old notes. It kind of, I think it adds some texture. Obviously, I have to keep on working on that because there's still some notes there that can be read. But and so yeah, I just kind of this paper normally would have went in the bin, but now it became reused to make another journal, which I paint and I put together and then I leave it. I'm not much of a actual journaler, but you can see I like to doodle when I'm like in a meeting, or if I'm bored while I'm waiting doing something. I like to doodle, and I'll use them again. I'll even cut them out sometimes and use them. But yeah, so this is just like painted pages with a bit of scrapped paper, collages, leftover stuff that I have. Like that's a Cricut cutout that I have, the outside part. These are book pages that I put watercolor on. I haven't quite gotten it to the finishing touch, I guess is what the layers that are required to finish it off. This I actually made on my Cricut. I had it draw that with markers. Thought it was cool. And these are like leaf cutouts that I use for something else, and I use the back. This is stencil. This is actually a stencil where you've done the stencil part, which is the triangles, and then to clean off my stencil, I just put on scrap paper, and then I used that as well for something else. These are hot glue. I used hot glue on wax paper to create like this circular kind of stencil-like, and that's how I got that image. And that's another, I used these little pop-outs from the Cricut for ephemera, and then I used that as another piece. And that's a coloring page that I've, there. And that's another one done. All right, and then this one, pretty chunky. I used as a bullet journal back in the day when I worked in an office. And then I decided it's got notes behind, but then it's also got journaling on top. So I've got like daily journaling and notes from behind. It's quite a mess, but I thought, well, this book was with me for a long time while I bullet journaled at work about tasks that I had to do and that. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna reuse it, paint it, and use it again. And I quite like you can see this is gone. Like that day I had to do some Facebook group stuff and whatever, and it's like, but now I'm repurposing it, and it became like a journal for my personal use. And I can tell that I did not use that very good of glue because this is coming off. Was that the days when I used to, yes, I'm going to tell you this tale. Do not use that strip glue, the kind that comes out on the roller that just has everything I've used that with. It's so handy, it's so convenient, but it does not last. It does not last. It just pulls off like that. In a way, I guess you can reuse it again, but it's basically, it's a mess, but I like it because I've worked in it multiple times. Like you can see, obviously I didn't go to the very end with my notes, but it's been heavily used, and I like that. It's very much a junk journal because it's something that worked once as a bullet journal, then became a memory journal, and who knows what else it could become. I could probably rip it all up and then piece it out. This site says I'm supposed to be writing in this. I've done some writing in it. Very little. And it's just a bunch of... And then when I first started with junk journals, I used composition notebooks because they're cheap and didn't cost much. So yeah, and I used a lot of magazine clippings, as you can see. That was my so I guess this would actually be considered a glue book now, but this was back when I saw like junk journals with the JUQUE kind of thing. Way back in the day, but yeah, it definitely has a glue book feel now. I think this is like the first one I ever made. Yeah, I think this is the first I ever made. It's very basic, but there's some writing there, so yeah, I keep it because it's nice to know where I was or how things were back in the day, but it's not my style anymore for sure. I'll show you like more of my newer style. So this is like one that I'm currently working on. So like my style is more like, I like really ones that I make myself, and then they're different size pages. I'm not going to say I actually screw-in ability on how they look, but I have like more of a eclectic looking with the pages. I like all these little tips. Different, some are painted, some are magazine pages, all these different kind of, like, I just love that whole, like, you know, this is a current one that I'm working on. And then this one I bought on my, again, it's like very all over the place, kind of, with the pages. And I have 2 signatures, I think, or maybe 3, yeah. But it's more different because of that. Definitely not the prettiest. So let's look. Here I really tried something different. I tried to use color cardstock to make something, which was quite different because it's very bright and painty, and I think I probably have a video on this one. I think I made videos on it. It's like one of those oh, no. Yeah, I have to go through all mine and re-glue using actual glue. And here I made these all at one time. Like you can see that they're all kind of uniform. Like, oh, how many did I make? Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. So I made all of these. I just mass produced them. Oh, there's something coming off. So they're very much look alike kind of thing. I thought, oh, they're like signatures, and I was going to make this massive, big junk journal. But then I realized if you make it this size to start with, and then you start adding stuff, whoa, it doesn't ever get big. So I thought, I'm just going to leave these as little signatures. And I just pieced them together and abandoned them. I have to say, I love putting junk journals together. Like, that's my new happy place. But then I think, well, I try to stop myself because it's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Where am I going to put all these books? Anyways, there's one, and then they're all kind of like, they either have painted pages, coloring pages, book pages, note pages, like basically like just scrappy paper. And then I decorated the fronts, but I did not do anything inside. Like whenever I'm painting or whatever, and if I've got leftover water, or if I need to clean my paintbrushes, I just put it on the book pages, or if I'm trying out a stamp just to see, or, if I make a page that I'm like, with a jelly print that I don't like, I'll put it in one of these, because I can make it with layers look better, in my opinion. So yeah. And I sewed these. Did you see that? I sewed them. That was cool. But yeah, it's very basic. It's also scrap paper that I would hope that I could layer enough to make it look good. Not scrap paper. Paper that I printed out something on and I no longer need to print. And this is an old accounting ledger that I got at the thrift store. Yeah, so they're all kind of, just the cover's been decorated, and that's about it. Oh, isn't that pretty? You make that by basically putting some ink down. Any kind of ink, even yours from your ink pad, onto like acetate paper, like clear plastic paper, and then you just smoosh it down, and it makes it that watery look. Obviously, you've got to use paper that's quality, or it's not going to look this good, but yeah. And that was just a book page that I had used that on. But yeah, here's more. And that's markers, and then you spray water on it, and it kind of does that effect. Yeah, and I think we're done with that. That's like, ooh. And that's just a magazine clipping. But how pretty is that thing? And I think this is, or maybe they're from books. I'm not too sure. It's been a while. But yeah, I made a whole bunch of those. And then just left them, moved on. This was the artisan journal. And I was really wanting to do that and follow along. But it looks like somewhere in, March, week 11, I dropped off and I have not gone back to it. So there's another one. And then these are all painty type ones. It's like, because I used to be really into art journal, that's where I started off. And so I had a bunch of ones that I had created, and I thought, well, what, I could just make these into books, you know, take them and make them into books. And so I did. And they're very like basic background, kind of like starter books, which I guess if you look at it, it's more of an art journal. Very different, isn't it? And I really like this for some reason. I don't know why. But it's basically a stencil that I drew with the pen. I don't know. It just, I feel like these books could be anything. They're like a good little starter area. You can also cover all the paint. Like, you don't have to keep it. It could just be really chunky. But they're nice and easy. But this is, these I made when I had just transitioned over from art journal to trying to do more junky journal. And you can see, oh, no, some of them are sewn. But there are a few that are stapled because I wasn't, like, in the zone with making handmade, you know. Okay, so here's one that I think I just took. Yeah, this is like, you can really tell this is like when I first started trying. It's like got, the signatures are kind of wrapped in instead of like, oh yeah, that needs work. This might have been like my first try. I've definitely progressed to bookbinding since then. Oh, and here's another one. And this is stapled as well. So this is when I was first starting it. Now I love making them. But that's, yeah, you can tell that's stapled as well. I just use an awl and I sew them, and it's great fun to make books. Oh, and here's one that just has plain paper ready to go. This says it's for painting, but no. I haven't really done anything with it. Ooh, notes. I have a bunch of, you know, just random messy playbook. Yeah. See, the great thing about this is even if I don't like all the pages, I don't like to work on, like, but I can rip them off and I can make ephemera with them. I don't have to keep it bound like this. I can just, it's just playful. This was supposed to be this love journal I was making, and I was going to put photos in it. And so at first I started off with very, like, a lot of cardstock paper kind of thing. And then I went very painty. I just can't seem to keep, oh, and I used the darn stick tab stuff. I'm going to put that in there so I don't lose that, but yeah, I can tell. And then I went all over the place, and I thought, no, that's not going to work out. Oh, this is another one of those ones I had made a whole bunch of. See, I'm a little bit better, but even there you can see it's not about being perfect. But this, I thought this could just be a very, like, just painty, just enjoy it. paint. And then if I want to, I could rip it out. But I never did it. I never did anything with it. Here's another one of the paint ones that I like. Just used old papers. It's like I like making the books, but I don't like actually filling them out. This I thought would be Christmas photos. Never happened. This was back when I was into Fobunichis. And I used that horrible tape, that runner tape, whatever it is. It's runner glue thing. It's not good. Then I kind of got out of it. And oh my gosh. Thankfully, I buy these things at the thrift store, but it's like, what a waste, right? And here are like, I made for fall. I think one is got like, it was going to be my way of writing down things for the fall. And then this was going to be like, I think my bucket list. And it just got like apple picking, apple pumpkin pie, country fair. Yeah, it's a hot mess. And then here is a book I bought. I just filled it. It's kind of glue book, and then it gets to paint. Then it gets like jelly prints, I think, is what it is. I really love jelly printing, but I am not good at it. And then this is a magazine book. I actually made this out of a magazine. So basically I took the magazine and I cut this portion off, and I created it this way. And I kind of like the whole, it's very busy, but I liked the challenge of trying to do something where you're covering it up but keeping pockets of it. It's definitely not something, it's not my style, but at least I tried, right? I tried something new. I'm going fast. It's very glue booky, I would say now. And I didn't even finish it. Like, isn't that the way it always goes? Oh, I didn't cut this one. I think I just folded it in, actually. I lied. Yeah, I folded it and glued it. Yeah. And that's why the pages are so cool. Like, so thick. But yeah. I love the cover, though, in my opinion. Not everyone's opinion, I'm sure. These are just like, I think Happy Planner pages that I pulled out, and I thought, I could make something like that. And then, oh, this is just completely book paper from a book. And I thought, I could do something with that. But obviously I didn't. And then this is, I think I glued this. Oh, maybe, no. Yeah, I think I might have glued it in. I don't know. It's book pages, and then it's painted. Some stamps, but really nothing much going on there. Then I thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I had a book to put like all my creative ideas in? That's me and my husband. Me and my husband. And then some colored paint. Oh, I used the, I love doing this kind of stuff with my hair, I know. Oh yeah, this is not good. This is not good. And then we get into here. And then I'm like talking about the different things I want to make. And then I think that was it. I don't know, maybe I got one more page of things I want to do creatively. And then I designed it, but I didn't fill it out. Not that this is completely designed, but I did some stuff in it. But then I left it for dust. Oh, I put some of my clusters in, or whatever, these masterboard tag things that I do. This I did with like a credit card. Doodles with a composition book. You pay like what, $1.50 now? So like, and like I make all these things with like leftover things, or maybe some dollar store products. But that was like a brochure, and this is a stamp, and then a bit of washi tape. So it's like, that's a leftover pattern paper, something I painted, and a book page. Stamps. This is stencil with a little bit of imprint, and a stencil I made. Yeah, haha. I use my Cricut to make my own stencils. I love doing like 3-dimensional. Not very good at it. Can you see that curve there? But hey, it's fun. Like this is an example of like a painted page. So yeah, the painted page is like too bold, but then if you put it with other things, I don't know, kind of goes. This was me trying to use up this paint that I had gotten from my mom long time ago. It was neon fabric spray paint, and I'm like, that's something I'll never use. I've had it forever. I'm gonna try and make something with it. That's a Cricut leftover. I love this. Okay, so this was a sticker, the back of a sticker, and so all I did was I painted in where the stickers were. It's cute, I think. I'm not too picky, and these are also like the backs of where stickers used to be. Very junky. I Cricuted that. I'm just gonna, whoop, this I painted. I did some sloppy watercolor kind of painting. There you go. And that's what's supposed to be my creative workbook. Volume 1. I don't think I'll ever get to Volume 2. Alright, I think I've gone through every journal I have made or owned. Yep, I think that's it. Well, hopefully I inspired you with the different types. Hopefully you got one little tidbit that will help you with when you get down to journal making. Have a lovely day.